All right, welcome to the call tonight, everybody. We are going to talk about building a strong team and what to do when we add ambassadors to our team. So I know when John and I first got started, we started adding ambassadors to our team, and we had no idea what we were doing, none whatsoever. So if we have any of our earlier level ones on this call, I apologize right now. we were clueless. We didn't know what we were doing, and we've learned a lot over the last 2 years of doing this business, and most of that we've learned by making mistakes and doing what we should not have done. And so that's my hope with the training tonight, is to spare you some of those mistakes and help you to build your team really confidently so that you can retain your level one, so that you don't have, it takes so much effort and work to get to the point where someone will finally really listen to you and to your message, and you can really share your heart with them, and then they get excited and they join Plexus, and you're so excited for them. To have them turn around and quit 2 weeks later or 4 weeks later, it's heartbreaking. So that's what we want to avoid. We want to help your level one ambassadors to be as successful as possible and catch the vision of Plexus so that they will stay excited and committed. So the first thing is to, for the sake of this training, I'm going to kind of divide ambassadors into 3 general groups. The first group is what I would consider wholesale customers. And they do not want to have anything to do with the business. They're very closed-minded to the business. They just want to order their product. Leave me alone, right? And then the second group would be people who are primarily wholesale customers, but they might have at least be open a little bit to the business, or they might kind of have a desire to possibly offset the cost of their products, but they aren't necessarily looking for a business. And then the third group of ambassadors that signs up are people who are business builders. They kind of catch the vision of the business right away, and they want to treat it as a business from day one. And that's awesome. But let me reassure you, if you're thinking, oh, where do I find those business builders? I don't have any of those. They are rare. I think that it's much more common to have somebody sign up just strictly for wholesale, or maybe willing to be a little bit open-minded, but they aren't necessarily looking for a business. I know the majority of my level ones, all of them really except for one, told me at some point, I'm not going to work the business. I'm not interested in that. Or they would say, well, maybe I'll try to get a customer or two to offset my costs a little, but I'm just not really interested in the business. So don't give up hope on those categories of people. But depending on what category people fall into, we're going to treat them a little bit differently. So the first thing that happens when you sign up a new ambassador, very first thing that should happen is you should turn around very quickly within hopefully just a couple of hours, or at least within the first 24 hours, and send them a welcome email. John and I have a template that we use. It's just standardized, that gives them some really basic information about how to log into their back office, what the team pages are that we're going to add them to. And if anybody wants a copy of that, just shoot me a message after this with your email address, and I'll forward to you what we send them. So we send them a nice welcome email that gives them some good information for getting started and has about 9 attachments on it. Okay, and that's great. It's good to welcome them that way. And you want to do that for everybody across the board. In fact, our email, I think, says right at the top. Even if you just signed up for wholesale pricing, you're going to want some of this information. Okay. Problem with those welcome emails is you should be aware that probably 90% of people don't read them, or they barely skim them. So if you think you can send a welcome email and your job is now done, and you say, all right, welcome, you're taken care of, your job is not done. It has barely started. So it is good to send a welcome email, but the number one most important thing, if you take nothing else away from this call, that you can do when you sign up a new ambassador, number one most important thing is to have a conversation with them, preferably within the first 48 hours. If they're local and you can get together in person, awesome. If they're not, do a quick Zoom call. These Zoom accounts, you can do a free one, and as long as you keep it under 24 minutes, you can always, if you need to talk longer than 24 minutes, hop off and hop back on again. But Zoom with them, pick up the phone, and call them on the telephone. There's just something that's really important about having that conversation with them so that you can identify which group they fall in, okay? Just by talking to them a little bit about, why did you join Plexus? What are your goals? What would you like to get out of this? Just asking a few of those questions and kind of getting some feedback from them, you'll then be able to tell, okay, this is just a wholesale customer. They're totally closed and against the business, and I need to respect that. This is a person who has a little bit of interest. They're kind of intrigued, but they don't really think they can do it. Or here's a person that's actually really interested in the business. So you got to have that conversation first and identify that. And that communication is so key. Once you've kind of identified which group you think they're in, and remember, people can move groups, and they will, and that's a great thing, then you can decide how to treat them. So that first group, when you get an ambassador who is really just a wholesale customer and they've let you know very firmly that they are not interested in the business, you then want to treat them like you would a customer. You want to make sure that you follow up with them at least 4 times, at least once a week, the first month that they're in there. You want to reach out to them, make sure that they got their order, make sure that they know how to use their products, make sure you're troubleshooting with them, any questions or concerns they might have. You're still going to want to send them that welcome email, and I highly, highly encourage you to ask them if you can still add them to some of the team pages. Now, if you have somebody who's just a wholesale customer, you do not want to add them to 6 different team pages and totally overwhelm them. But if I have somebody who's just a wholesale customer, I'll usually go to them and say, hey, is it all right with you if I add you just to mine and John's team page? Even if you're not going to do anything with the business, there's a lot of great product information on there. It's also a great way for you to be aware of any sales or deals that are going on. It's a great way for you to get answers to questions if you're ever trying to reach me and you can't. So I just let them know it's still a great resource for them. And adding people to just 1, maybe at the max 2 team pages as a wholesale customer sometimes can spark their interest as they see the fun that we're having and some of the successes that we're having. So still want to add them to a team page as long as they give you permission to do so. The biggest, most important thing if you have a wholesale customer is I still encourage you to invite them to meetings. Not just one time, because that probably, if you invite them one time, they probably will say no and not come. But if you continually invite them to meetings, unless they ask you not to, meetings are where the magic happens. I have had a couple of level 1s, one in particular I'm thinking of, who probably told me 30 times before she ordered that she would never, ever do anything with the business. She wanted to make sure, who was that? Rachel Fuller. Yeah. She wanted to make sure I knew that she was not going to have anything to do with the business. But she and her husband came out to a meeting and her interest was sparked. Another one of my ambassadors, Wendy Thompson's on here. She probably fell more into category 2. She was not completely closed-minded to the business, but she also wasn't, I don't think she had a really strong belief in doing the business. She kind of was like, maybe I'll try to get a customer or something, but let me know that she was not really going to do the business. And I kept hounding her about getting to a meeting, and she kind of kept saying, I'm busy, I can't. Finally got her out to a meeting, and she left that meeting going, this could help so many people I know. I don't care if I make money, but I need to help people. There's so many people who need these products, and she caught that vision. So meetings are huge. You still want to invite your wholesale customers to meetings. And honestly, recently I went to a meeting hosted by an ambassador not on our team, and they asked some of their preferred customers to come and give their testimonial, and it was awesome. And all of those preferred customers left wanting to be ambassadors. So I really encourage you to invite your preferred customers to come out to meetings consistently, and just recognize the fact you'll probably have to invite them 8 to 12 times before they'll actually show up to a meeting. That's just typical. So that's kind of what I do with my wholesale customers. And then additionally, I just let them know anytime there are sales or deals and just try to kind of keep them in the loop. Now, if I get somebody, and this is, I think, where the majority of people come in, they're a little bit open-minded to it, like, yeah, maybe I could get a customer or 2, but they're not into the business. And they're just, a lot of times, they just have a lot of fears. They're afraid of failing themselves. They're afraid that the company is not legit. They don't have any belief in the company yet or in the products. So there's a lot of fear behind maybe that's holding them back. So with a person in this category, you still want to treat them like a customer. If you are not contacting your new customers at least 4 times in the first month that they're ordering, you're doing yourself and them a huge disservice. You really need to be reaching out and asking them, how's it going? Do you have any questions? Is there anything that I can help you with? So you want to still be treating them like a customer. You want to add them to the team page. You want to make sure you welcome them to the team page. With my wholesale customers, I still usually welcome them unless they're kind of like really standoffish about it, then I might not welcome them. I might just add them so they have that resource. But you want to welcome them to the team page. And then the couple of things I do different with somebody who has a little bit of interest. Again, number one big thing is I do my very best to get them to a meeting in the first 30 days. Live if at all possible, but if not, then I get them to an online Zoom meeting. And again, that usually takes multiple times inviting. Because at those meetings, they really do catch a better vision of what Plexus is about. The other thing that I do with somebody who has at least shown a little bit of interest in the business is I invite like crazy to trainings. There are so many great trainings out there, especially online ones, and I just keep inviting them to online trainings until I get them to come to something. And then the other thing with somebody who has just a little bit of interest, I think it's important to show them the money. Show them the actual numbers. And again, that goes back to that first conversation where you kind of ask them about their goals and why they joined and what they'd like to get out of this. So if they say to you, oh, well, you know, it'd be great if I could just get a customer or two to kind of offset the cost of my products, then you say, great, I'm going to send you a little message. It's going to show you how you could do that. And I will break down for them. Like if you have 2 preferred customers who each order the triplex, this is what, in addition to your triplex that you're ordering, here is what your commissions would look like. So they can kind of get an idea. And I give them a couple scenarios to show them what it would take to just cover the cost of their products. And I think a lot of times that sparks some interest when they realize how awesome the comp plan is and that it doesn't take a whole lot to be successful. But again, the meetings are number one. I can't stress that enough. It's such an easy way to help people catch the vision. There's other ways you can do it. You can educate them on your own, but getting people to a meeting is so duplicatable. What if you're really good at helping your level ones catch the vision, but they aren't good at helping their team catch the vision? Then you're gonna have paralysis in your team. But anybody can duplicate just getting people out to a meeting, right? So that's why that becomes so important. And then your last group of people is your business builders. Same kinds of things, but you want to take it to another level. So when I have somebody who says, yeah, I'm interested in this business, like I see you having success, I need to earn some income from home, you know, show me what to do. I am in contact almost daily with that person. I tell them up front, I really expect to hear from you every day. Do not think that you're going to bother me. If I don't hear from you every day, I'm worried. You should have questions for me every day. I really reiterate that. And if I don't hear from them, I'm touching base with them. How's it going with your products? How's it going with your Facebook posting? Do you have any questions? Keeping that communication really open is so key. And then just continuing to send them trainings as quickly as they're willing to accept them. You know, I always check in. Are you doing okay? Am I overwhelming you? Is this all right? But you want to just feed them information as fast as you can. With somebody that's interested in the business, you also really want to make sure you plug them into our Simply Silver group. This is going to be ongoing training. Every month, the Simply Silver group will start over again. So as you add new ambassadors, you want to add them into that training each month. And then once they achieve the rank of silver, they'll move up to the group that's called Going for Gold, and they'll get training that's more specific to that, to the stage of their business that they're in. And then eventually to elevating for Emerald. You want to say hi? You say night night? She's got to say good night. Night night. Night night. Can I have a love? Can I have a love? Okay. Good job. Night night. Daddy. Oh, I love you. Bedtime. Sorry. I just realized, oh, I am recording. Okay, good. I'm almost done. Also, one other thing is once somebody does have some interest in the business, you're going to want to give them some concrete goals because a lot of times they just don't know where to start. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information. The team pages are great resources, but they also can be extremely overwhelming. So the advice that I give everybody, and I put this on Simply for Silver the other day too, my general advice that I give people is to set the following goals. I say daily you want to do 2 things, and these 2 things should be done in 20 minutes or less a day. So this is not overwhelming and it's not time consuming. But you want to share Plexus every day, and you want to learn about Plexus every day. Learning if they're part of the Simply Silver group is easy because I post a training each day that kind of takes them step by step. But even if they're not part of that group, you just give them a couple of resources like Plexus University on YouTube. Awesome. Awesome training videos. Most of them are 5 to 7 minutes, and they're done by Double Diamonds, Jarrett, and Kristen Abart, and they're very professionally done. You know, Sonia Dudley, Lori Harrison, I give them a few names and say, just go to YouTube and look up Plexus and Lori Harrison or Plexus University and just watch 1 video a day. I don't care what video it is. They're all really fabulous. But pick something and commit to doing that. You can invest 5 to 7 minutes into your business a day. It's going to help you be so much more confident. And then share every day. It can be as simple as copying and pasting a Facebook post, but at least start getting it out there. You can also be talking to people in person if you don't like to use Facebook or you're not on Facebook much. You can be talking in person, sending out an email, sending out a quick text, and just saying, hey, I'm doing this plexus thing. It helps people balance their blood sugar and get their gut healthy. Let me know if you have any interest in learning about it. Just that's quick and simple. But they're going to share daily, learn daily. They're going to do follow-ups weekly. So I just say once a week, you can do this. Once a week, set aside half an hour to an hour, and you're going to just follow up with everybody that you've been talking to. And you're going to follow up if you have any customers who've ordered. You're going to check in with them. It doesn't have to be time-consuming. Again, just a quick message out. But you want to set a goal to do that once a week. And then monthly, you want to attend a meeting. Just once a month. It's about an hour and a half time commitment, maybe less if you do a 30-minute online meeting. That's a lot less time. So 30 minutes to an hour and a half a month. So overall, I just want to show them there's just a few basic things you can do that take very little time and can be fit into the nooks and crannies of life. But when they're done consistently, they add up to big success. And I think that's the main things. Oh, the last thing. This is really important. So those are, I'm very right-brained. I'm a list kind of person. Like I got to do this and then I got to do this, my little checklist. So I tend to kind of teach from that point of view first. But there's another aspect that's a little bit more abstract that is huge, huge, huge. When you get a new ambassador, the number one thing you can do for that person, above and beyond welcoming to the team page and getting them to a meeting and all these things, the number one thing you can do is breathe belief into that person. Just tell them every day, I know you can do this. I'm super excited for you. If you need any help at all, I'm here for you. And you keep that communication open and you stay very positive. When they come to you with anything negative, which we all know lately, right? My order's lost, my order's delayed, I'm stuck on hold with customer service. We've all been dealing with it. When they come to you with something negative, you be a good listening ear, and then immediately find a positive. Say, oh, I know that's frustrating, but I think it's awesome that you got through to customer service, the issue's resolved, we can move forward from here. It's your job to be positive. The worst thing you can ever do is complain to your new ambassadors. It'll just put the fire out like nothing else. So don't complain to them. If you feel like you've got a vent and you're frustrated, go to your upline. That's what they're there for. You can go to your upline, but don't go to your downline complaining, okay? Stay positive, breathe belief into them, and think of it as service, that you are there to serve them. And if you can come from a place of sincerity there, that you really care about that person and you want them to be successful, they will sense that. And they will feel more secure in working with you and be more able to openly communicate with you when they know that you sincerely want to see them succeed. Because that's what this business is really all about. When we help other people succeed, we're successful too. And it is so much fun. I have to admit, as fun as it was to finally hit senior gold after a year, it was more fun for me to watch Wendy hit gold. I mean, I seriously just cried and cried because I was so happy for her. And when I watched my other team members, you know, Melissa just went silver at the end of this last month too, Melissa Tatro. There's nothing more rewarding. So it's worth the time and the investment it takes to nurture those relationships and really love on and speak belief into the people that you sign up. You just have to remember, so many of them come in with a lot of fear. They don't believe they can do it. They don't believe the company is as good as we say it is. They don't believe the products are as good as we say they are. So we have to help them believe that until they're able to believe it themselves. Everybody needs somebody to tell them how awesome they are. We all need that every day. So make sure you're giving them that. So that's pretty much what I had. Just know that when you add new people to your teams, they need you to step up and lead them. Even if you're new yourself, just do your best to put your arms around them. And I will say that is one of the things I forgot to write down in my notes. If you are really new yourself, like John and I were, and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, pull your upline in. If your upline is not super engaged and they're not very responsive and helpful, go up another level. Go up another level till you find somebody in your direct upline who is very engaged in the business and ask them to help you as you're first getting started. A three-way chat is an awesome way to help start getting them engaged. A three-way Zoom call is an awesome way to get them engaged because you're going to get all the experience and the belief and the passion of that upline who's had a little more time in the business, and you get to see how they do it. So you'll be learning at the same time as your new ambassador. So three-way calls, three-way Zooms, those are awesome. So I hope that helps give you a few ideas. If anybody has any questions at all, please feel free to unmute yourself you have a new ambassador yourself and you're like, I don't know what to do with this person, I'll go ahead and stop the recording.